Have you ever wondered what it was really like for our ancient ancestors? Not the cartoon cavemen you see on TV, but real people surviving day to day in a world filled with dangers we can barely imagine. Today, we're going back in time, deep into the Pleistocene era, to witness a single event that was and just another meal was a pivotal moment that helped shape the course of human evolution. We're talking about the prehistoric hunt that changed everything. Picture this: a vast, windswept savanna long before cities or farms. The air is crisp, and the sun beats down on a small group of early humans, perhaps Homo erectus or early Homo sapiens asterisk. They're not the strongest or the fastest creatures out here. They don't have massive claws or razor-sharp teeth. What they have is something far more powerful: a developing mind, a tightly knit social bond, and the incredible ability to work together. Their target isn't a small rabbit or a bird, it's a mammoth. A colossal, walking mountain of meat, fat, and bone, weighing several tons. A single successful hunt could feed the entire clan for weeks, providing not just food, but also hides for warmth and shelter, and massive bones for tools and structures. But taking down such a beast was incredibly risky. One wrong move, one moment of hesitation, could mean instant death. So, how did they do it? This wasn't a chaotic, brutish charge. It was a masterpiece of strategy, communication, and endurance. The hunt likely began days earlier. Skilled trackers would have followed the mammoth herd, observing their behavior, looking for an individual that was old, young, or isolated from the group. They read the land like a book: broken twigs, footprints in the mud, the scent on the wind. Every sign told a story. Once a target was selected, the plan would be put into motion. This wasn't just about brute force, it was about intelligence. They used the landscape to their advantage. Perhaps they would try to drive the mammoth towards a natural trap, like a narrow ravine, a bog, or a cliff edge. The goal wasn't to fight the mammoth on its terms, but to create a situation where its size and strength became a disadvantage. The real weapon our ancestors possessed was something called persistence hunting. They couldn't outrun a mammoth in a short sprint, but they could outlast it. Early humans were built for endurance. Our ability to sweat and cool our bodies while running long distances was a unique evolutionary advantage. The hunters would relentlessly pursue the mammoth, giving it no time to rest, eat, or drink. Hour after hour under the relentless sun, they would jog, track, and harry the animal. Imagine the scene: a group of hunters communicating with hand signals and simple calls, coordinating their movements. Some would run ahead to cut off escape routes, while others would flank the animal, throwing rocks or waving branches to keep it moving, to keep it stressed. The mammoth, covered in thick fur and unable to sweat effectively, would begin to overheat. It would become exhausted, confused, and desperate. This chase could go on for miles, sometimes for an entire day. It was a battle of wills, a test of stamina unlike any other. The psychological pressure on both the hunters and the prey would have been immense. The hunters had to stay focused, trusting each other completely. A single mistake could scatter the animal and waste days of effort, or worse, turn the hunted into the hunter. Finally, the moment would come: the exhausted mammoth would slow to a halt, too tired to run any further. Now, the most dangerous phase began. The hunters would close in, armed with sharpened wooden spears or flint-tipped lances. These weren't throwing spears like modern javelins, they were heavy, thrusting weapons. Getting close enough to use them required immense courage. Working as a team, they would jab at the mammoth's vulnerable areas: the underbelly, the legs, the neck. It was a coordinated, risky dance of advance and retreat. Every hunter had a role, protecting each other, creating openings, and pressing the attack. The air would be filled with the sounds of shouting, the trumpeting of the enraged animal, and the thud of spears finding their mark. It was a brutal, violent, and necessary act of survival. When the great beast finally fell, it must have been a moment of profound significance. It wasn't just relief or triumph, it was a communal victory that reinforced every social bond within the group. The hunt was a success not because of one heroic individual, but because of the collective effort of the entire team. This process, the planning, the communication, the cooperation was a powerful evolutionary driver. The hunt was the ultimate test of problem solving. Which animal to choose, how to separate it from the herd, how to use the terrain. Each hunt was a new puzzle, and solving it sharpened their minds. It required advanced communication. They needed to convey complex ideas. Let's drive it towards the swamp, or wait for my signal. This pressure to communicate more effectively may have been a key factor in the development of language. Furthermore, success depended entirely on trust and social cohesion. Each hunter had to trust that the person next to them would do their part, that they would have their back. This built a deep sense of community and shared identity. After the hunt, the sharing of the meat would have been a crucial social ritual, reinforcing hierarchies, strengthening alliances, and ensuring everyone, from the youngest to the oldest, received a share. This is the foundation of human society, sharing resources for the good of the group. This single event, the cooperative hunting of megafauna, had a domino effect on our development. The high-calorie, nutrient-dense meat and fat fueled the growth of our energy-hungry brains. Bigger brains allowed for better tools, more complex social structures, and more sophisticated hunting strategies. It was a feedback loop of innovation. The need to hunt drove brain development, and a bigger brain made us better hunters. The tools they used, the strategies they devised, the social bonds they forged, all of it was passed down from one generation to the next. Hunting wasn't just a way to get food, it was a school where culture, knowledge, and technology were taught and refined. It's in these moments, on the dusty plains of the Pleistocene, that we see the very essence of what it means to be human, our intelligence, our cooperation, and our incredible will to not just survive, but to thrive against all odds. So the next time you sit down for a meal, take a moment to think about that prehistoric hunt. Think about the courage, the intelligence, and the teamwork it took for our ancestors to succeed. That mammoth didn't just provide sustenance for a few weeks. Its defeat was a victory that echoed through millennia, fueling the growth of our brains, forging the bonds of our societies, and setting us on the path to becoming the dominant species on this planet. It was a hunt that truly changed us forever. Thanks for joining us on this journey back in time. If you found this as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into our incredible human story. Let us know in the comments what ancient mystery you'd like us to explore next. See you in the next one.